Hey YouTube, what's up? BlackwingKei here with another Genshin Impact video for you all. Now, if you haven't watched my version 2.1 trailer reaction yet, I suggest you kind of click away from this video as this is not really going to be a reaction, it's more going to be an analysis as you can already see from the title, and a discussion like I used to do from like the version 1.5 trailer, version 1.6 trailer, something along the lines of that. I just decided to separate everything to keep things organized so that I don't go on a tangent too much, like I'm kind of doing right now. I would also suggest you click away from this video if you really don't want to be spoiled further from the story that's to come in version 2.1. As you know, we did get a lot, we saw a lot, we heard a lot in the version 2.1 trailer, so I'm going to be digging deep. I'm going to be talking about everything we saw, everything we heard, and yeah, so if you really don't want to know anything else besides what you saw in the trailer already, or if you're not really watching the trailer multiple times, then, you can safely steer away from here, but if you don't mind, hey, stick around, let's go. Also, guys, just a friendly reminder, Discord in the description. Discord is finally open. Like this video, subscribe if you're new, and let's go ahead and jump into this video. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be.
Repeat after me. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3.
So this part right here, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what to make of it, honestly. If I'm being completely honest here, we're gonna have to move on because the whole 1, 2, 3, you're waking up. I thought that was like a bit weird at first. I'm like, what's going on? Why is she so? It's like she's being very friendly with us now, although she wasn't really hostile towards us in the beginning. But I'm gonna say more on Yae Miko later on, as we get to see her again. I love the music, how it starts off, and honestly, the island of Watatsumi.
The earliest shrine on Watasumi Island was not
so beautiful, so beautiful. Honestly, I could not keep my eyes away from this. I am going to absolutely fall in love with Watatsumi Island. I'm assuming that the hydro hypostasis that we got to see as well is going to be situated on Watatsumi Island, and the electro bat that looks like an Oceanid will probably be on Seirei Island, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Located in Sangonomiya. But after she struck down our protector deity,
yeah, that's Seirei Island
the
right there.
shrine was abandoned.
The electro bat is going to be there. So that's the abandoned shrine?
Recently, some of our soldiers started showing symptoms of accelerated aging.
Alright, let's stop it right there. So, right there, they just said that lately their soldiers have been experiencing symptoms of accelerated aging. I've already seen a couple of theories, I guess you would say, thrown around about who's responsible for it. Someone even went as far as to say that it's Kokomi doing it. That basically she's supposed to be much older than she appears to be, and because she's taking the age of other people, she's making herself young. I mean, I guess that wouldn't really fall outside of the realm of possibility, but I don't know where people got that conclusion from. I mean, yes, I do suspect her as well. I still do have my suspicions about her, but I mean, not to go that far. That now she's like, she needs her people to fight for the cause. Why would she take her people's lives? That makes absolutely no sense. That right there makes no sense. But yeah, this was very interesting, and I wonder if there's any deeper meaning to it, or it's just gonna be like a one-off thing where it's like they're talking about it, we're concerned about it, but there's really nothing too much to worry about from that one. We'll have to wait and find out when we actually get to the game and whatnot. All right, let's continue.
If that's the case, then the peace talks are likely a trap.
So this is something that the MiHoYo trailers love to do. And we've noticed this before. It's nothing new. About how they misdirect you, they mislead you with certain dialogues out of context. You know what I mean? They did that last time with a couple of other... Version 2.0 did that last time very well. So here, I'm not sure what it is they're talking about, like the peace talks, and it transitioned basically from the aging thing, the guy talking about accelerated aging, and then Kokomi saying, oh, is that so? Then I guess the peace talks are just a trap. That, I believe, is out of context, and I don't think those two happen together at the same time. I think what they're talking about the peace talks here is that Kujo is trying to set them up, maybe, going there like, oh yeah, let's just talk, it's about peace, and then Kokomi picks up on something and is like, wait a minute, this could be a trap. That's just what I'm thinking there. But it's not related to what the other soldier said before. Alright, so there we go. There's something else though. There's like it looks like a slime. Can I go back to that? Alright, you can see right there, there's like a little slime and it has like a halo on top of it. I'm not sure if that's like related to the hydrohypostasis. I am not sure, but that's new. Everything about this boss is new. Like, yes, we got another hypostasis, but each hypostasis fights, differently. You don't literally see a copy and paste. Like, you would see an enemy like, oh, it's just a blue enemy now. It's just a cube, blue, same thing. I just have to do the same thing I do against the electro hypostasis. Wrong. This is a completely different boss. You should not do the same things you do to the other bosses. I mean, because, you have your heavy hitters that can do massive damage, and that you do have to do, but, you get what I'm trying to say, right? It's a different boss. Everything is unique. Look at that. It looks like a slime with a halo on it. A ring above its head, or above its body. And it's still back there. And then we see a bunch of dolphins just, oh my god. I said during the live stream that the boss looked like it was going to be a walk in the park. I'm not too sure about it now, because you know how the Oceanid is. I kind of just thought back to the Oceanid, and I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I spoke too soon. Now this one here, the bat. A very interesting design that looks just like, the Oceanid that we were just talking about, but except it's electro. Again, that's probably going to be on Sadai Island. Just kind of obvious there. And then we have
people charge in here as they please. So
Signora.
Signora's the one behind all this? Not her again!
Have you learned your lesson now? The way you follow me around like a dog.
Alright, so there we go. This is something I'm pretty sure you saw my face, my reaction to this when I was watching this, and I kind of just put a face of like, oh man, I can't believe this. I didn't want them to show that. So this is basically her Foul Legacy transformation, going from a cryovision wielder to also wielding pyro abilities. And I believe that's a nice contrast to their abilities. So Tartaglia goes from hydro to electro, while Signora goes from cryo to pyro. So if we were to follow suit with this, would Scaramouche go from electro to hydro? Is it supposed to be like the opposites of abilities? I'm really not sure. It could be completely different. Maybe Scaramouche can go from electro to cryo. It could be something different. But yeah, sorry for going off on a bit of a tangent there. We got to see Signora's Foul Legacy transformation, and I was a bit not happy with that, seeing it here, because I was actually trying to allude to this in my reaction, but I decided to leave it for now, a bit of a discussion, that I hate when trailers just show everything, honestly, and I'm going to be a sucker for it because I'm always going to watch the trailers. I thought I had learned my lesson from Kingdom Hearts 3. I should have stopped. Kingdom Hearts 3, before the release of the game, they released so many trailers that basically showed you almost everything. They showed you all the worlds. They showed you the final battle. They showed you the final world. They showed you everything. And I didn't like it. There was like no surprises to the game. Now, remember, in my predictions, I was talking about version 1.1 live stream that they did. They showed Tartaglia's Fatui Foul Legacy form. And I was like, wow, so if we get the next Harbinger in 2.1, or whenever they were showing it, because this was before 2.1 trailer came out, I was like, yo, I think they're going to show the Fatui Harbinger Foul Legacy transformation. And lo and behold, we got Signora and her Foul Legacy transformation. But yeah, let's move on. I just wanted to just tell you that I was a bit, let down there. I was like, not too happy that we got to see this. Now there's no surprise. When we fight her, you're basically going to hear my commentary like, okay, you're going to transform now, right? There's no surprises. When I fought Tartaglia for the first time, I had not seen the 1.1 trailer, and when he transformed in the middle of the fight, I was like, what is this? What is going on? The element of surprise was the juiciest part of that fight. Finding out that he has a second form and he can use another element, that was all the rave. But it is what it is. We're moving on now because we do know that the Fatui Harbingers have these powers and can do these things. So it's not much of a spoiler anymore, because we do know that they're going to be using second elements. They're going to transform. But I just didn't want to see the design spoiled. That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to allude to, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's cool and everything, but I just don't want to get spoiled of the design and whatnot. That's all it was. Then, you know, we get to see the whole fight and everything.
Not even ashes will remain.
Let's get them! Protect Madame Kujo!
I will do everything within my power to defend my family's honor.
Strike! Storm the front!
You Kujo scum! Colluding with the Fatui isn't low enough for you already. You just want to take everything away from us.
Alright, so I just wanted to stop it right there. So basically, again, now we're informed. I picked up on this the second time I watched the trailer. By this point, guys, I've already seen this trailer like a million times. I've seen many people react to it and whatnot. You know, just gathering and collecting my thoughts of what I'm going to talk about when I finally decide to do the analysis, which I'm doing right now. So, that soldier from the Sangonomiya rebels says to Kujo that the Kujo clan is colluding with the Fatui. So there we go. That pretty much confirms that, like I was saying before, the Fatui have already been there because someone has been letting them roam on Inazuma. Remember, Inazuma is supposed to be a closed nation. So it makes sense that we're seeing Ronin there, treasure hoarders, native to Inazuma, hilly churls, you know, the monsters and whatnot of the land, they're going to be there as well, but we shouldn't see people from the outside as they're considered outlanders. Fatui are not native to Inazuma. They are from Snezhnaya. They come from their Zapoliarny Palace, the Winter Palace. That's where their main base of operations is. They do have mini headquarters in Lea Harbor, but, you know, they shouldn't have been in Inazuma. Someone let them in Inazuma. And again, the signs were there, like I was trying to say. Somebody says that they were talking to an arrogant-sounding woman, the Kanjo Commissioner. And, you know, the Kanjo Commissioner is basically in relations to the Tenryou Commission as well. And who's the head of the Tenryou Commission? The Kujo clan. And the Kujo clan is responsible for letting the Fatui roam here. Because apparently, from what we heard here, they are colluding with the Fatui. So it answers everything. It answers everything. Everything is now coming together. With that bit, there's not that much mystery around it anymore. We'll just have to experience it ourselves when we get to that part in the game. In my opinion, I'm not heartbroken at all. I still like Kujo Sara. Kujo Sara is still top tier waifu. I don't care if her family's been colluding with the Fatui. I mean, hey, there's some good Fatui and some bad Fatui. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen in the story, okay? All right, let's continue.
Prepare for hardship.
All right, this confused me here. She's fighting something that looks like a flying slime or something. Now here she's fighting other enemies.
Rebuild! Covenants of the Deep!
Some ambitions have the power to heal wounds, to bring victory.
There's another comment that talked about Kazuha reawakening the vision from his old friend. And somebody got to him before I could, where he's like, you do know that that's not how the vision works and whatnot. I'll probably pull the comments up here if I do get to find it again. But yeah, so it's very interesting. People are saying they smell a death flag. And they think that Kazuha will die just because of what we saw here, right? And I mean, I would see why you would, like, predict that maybe Kazuha's gonna die at the end of the Inazuma story. Personally, I don't see it. And it has to do with how a death should be delivered in a story. Now, we've barely gotten to know Kazuha. You know, it's like we got to know him during the summer, during the prologue to Chapter 2. It was amazing that we got to see him at the end of the Act 2 of Chapter 2 in Inazuma, just like I wanted. You know, one of my theories was that I wanted him to come in the middle of the story and help against the fight with the Shogunate, and voila, it's happening. So people looking at this, people smelling death flags, people think Kazuha's gonna die. I don't think Kazuha's gonna die. Again, it has to do with how a death should be delivered in the story. Like, if he dies, I'm not gonna feel anything. I'm sorry. To all you people that love Kazuha so much, I would not feel anything if Kazuha died because it's, like, too soon. Like, we just knew him, and now he's gonna die already? I'm like, well, I guess, you know, I'll feel a little bit bad, but, you know, it's like, wow, we barely got to know you. Now you're already dead. See, people are predicting that the first one to go is going to be Venti. Like, if there is going to be a death in the story, that it would be Venti, the former Animo Archon. And I would see that happening. Yes, I would see that happening. His purpose has already been filled. He built the Nation of Freedom, Mondstadt. He was able to be an Archon for a long time. If he dies, you know, that's it. His role is up. So I can see that death happening. And although I keep calling Venti a snake, all you Venti mains, I'm sorry for calling your favorite character a snake, but I would feel a bit sad the way they would deliver his death, even if I am talking bad about him. You know, it's because of the way of the death that would be delivered, and how we've known Venti for a long time. At this point, for about a year now, a little over a year, because a Venti banner actually came out during the summer, during like the beta tests and whatnot. So, I would feel that death a bit more. But again, I don't care too much about Venti, but I'm just trying to let you know that how a death should be delivered. Like, you can't just introduce a character here and then just kill him off. I mean, you can do that, but then there'll be no weight to it. And if you want to tell a good story and you want the things to carry some weight to it, you have to build up to it and whatnot. It's just introducing Kazuha and then killing him off is weightless to me, honestly. Like, we just got to know him. I don't think we even got a character story quest for Kazuha, did we? No, he was just introduced in the chapter 2 prologue, but we never got a story quest for Kazuha, so we still have to get that. Now, I do know that not all 5-star characters have a character story quest. Look at Chain's example. Yeah, she doesn't have a story quest, but I'm just saying that, we're to expect some character story quests for these characters. Maybe Chain's story quest is going to come in the Moonchase Festival that's coming up. Who knows? All right, let's continue.
Indulge my curiosity. What is the reason that I find you standing
we have
once again?
the Gold Traveler again. So, the gold, the Traveler radiating in the gold energy and whatnot. So we're going for round 2, and we ain't going down without a fight. Not like last time. Last time, people are saying that probably the Traveler held back. And I wouldn't like for that to be the case, because you're going up against a god. You're going up against an Archon. Why are you holding back? You want answers. You want some you have some questions and you want answers. That's why you were approaching the Electro Archon, the one you wanted to see. Why are you holding back? Don't do that. You never do that. That wasn't very anime protagonist of you. I mean, well, in a sense, it kind of was, because anime protagonists tend to do stupid things like this, like holding back against a major character, a major villain, and then, getting the short end of the stick. But it's like I'm saying, like, why would you hold back? Why would you do that? Like, beat them up and then get your answers. That's the OG way to do it. Alright, let's go see some more of the gameplay. The Raiden Shogun gameplay is something that... Now, I was like, teetering all over the place, making that prediction video of what weapon she would use and whatnot. So I gave the reasons why I would think it's a polearm, but again, I don't think it's because of that reason she's using a polearm, or naginata, if you will. But I love how in her ult, she is using the sword. So basically, like Tartaglia and his elemental skill, it's the Raiden Shogun and her elemental burst, the Booba sword. Look at that. That is amazing. And right there, the Traveler doesn't fall, so we're getting spoiled.
Surely you don't think your ambition alone.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop it right there. So we're getting spoiled already that the second fight, obviously he's not gonna go down again like he did the first time. So he's gonna survive the strike of the Muso no Hitotachi. Yes, the special technique that Raiden Shogun uses. Now here is one part that's about to come up that I've personally been using this name already, but I don't think it's been confirmed yet. So I'll wait to see where this name is gonna be playing an importance. And remember, let her say it first. Go ahead.
Is enough to shake A's will, do you?
That's it.
Wait, let me keep it here. Let me keep it here because we're about to see something big. All right, so it's gonna be going dark right there. But yeah, so A's will. So Yae Miko is actually gonna be with us, which is very interesting. So there's two things I want to talk about here. Is how Yae Miko talks about being able to shake I's will, or A's will, if you must. Some people got a little confused thinking that she said Ace, and it's like, who's Ace? No, she said A's. Remember, it's apostrophe S. She's talking about someone and their will. So, when you say that to a person, when you're talking about a person to another person, you have to use in relations to their like possession or something along the lines of that, you have to use an apostrophe. So she did not say Ace, like Ace from One Piece. No, she said A's will, because apostrophe S, talking about someone else's property or their personal belonging, or like I said, their will. So it's very interesting, that name. Remember, back in the prediction as well, we know that the Archons have many different names. Venti, I think, only has two different names, which is, two names in total, Barbados and Venti. With the exception of Paimon's joke name, the Tone Deaf Bard. I don't think we should really count that one, but if Venti did have another name, please let me know. But then we go back to Zhongli. Zhongli had different names as well. Morax, to Rex Lapis, to Zhongli. So I basically went on the basis of the Raiden Shogun having different names as well. 3 names total as well because of Zhongli. I made the joke about Venti still having the Tone Deaf Bard, Barbados, and Venti. Morax, Rex Lapis, Zhongli. So here we should have Bal, A, and Raiden Shogun, if we're correct about that. If her name is A, that is. If Yae Miko is talking about the Raiden Shogun here, shaking A's will, or, you know what? Maybe Yae Miko is talking about someone else completely different, we don't know, but let's assume that she's talking about the Raiden Shogun. So that would be Bal, A, Raiden Shogun, or Raiden, just strictly Raiden. So yeah, that's why I made that theory about the names as well, because the different Archons seem to be known by different names. Now, the second part I want to talk about Yae Miko is how she's now kind of with us. Now, if you've done some world quests, you would know a bit more of history about the Yae Miko, the Guji Yae here, and about how she's a Fox Envoy. Now, I think the Fox Envoy is basically another way of saying the familiar, the Fox's familiar. If you've done the world quest for Kazari, where you have to do the sacred Sakura cleansing ritual, you get to, it's hinted very little, the dialogue is so subtle. Basically just as subtle as the Signora foreshadowing back in Rito. So Kazari mentions that she felt a familiar at the top of the Narukami Shrine. Like, yeah, I think, you know what? I think I did feel a familiar. The Kitsune Saigu, which was like the great fox spirit, I guess, of Inazuma, and a close friend, I would say, a close ally, a close friend to the Raiden Shogun. Because remember, the Raiden Shogun is deeply rooted in Inazuma's history, so it would be very interesting to find out more about that. The relationship between the Kitsune Saigu and the Raiden Shogun, and why the people praise the Raiden Shogun, and what happened to the Raiden Shogun to make her change and pursue eternity and basically oppress the people of Inazuma. Because it's kind of what's happening. It's like an oppression, but some people aren't feeling it, some people are feeling it. But yeah, these are the details from the Kazari World Quest, Sacred Sakura Cleansing Ritual, where she does point out that, hey, I believe there was a familiar at the top of the Narukami Shrine, but no, it's not me. So Kazari's telling us that because, at the end, we get to figure out Kazari's real identity, which was actually the memories, or it was like the form of the Kitsune Saigu, but it was the filth. I hate to say that about her, but she was basically the filth, the corruption that, formed, and she herself had to be cleansed because she was not right in the world. So that's pretty much it. So what I find interesting here is that I kind of made a little joke. So it's like the traveler going to have a familiar himself. Is Yae Miko going to be the traveler's familiar or something? Like, they seem to be really close. And transitioning back to the beginning of the trailer, where he's like waking up next to her and she's like trying to help us. Something maybe happened to us and she's trying to help us out and whatnot. So yeah. So when they teased us in the version 2.0 presentation that she's going to be very important and we'll be seeing a lot of her throughout Inazuma's storyline, they weren't kidding. So I really wonder what part she's going to play here. And she's definitely very close to the Raiden Shogun. That's something else I forgot to mention. That's also been hinted at in the story so far. And, she refers to her as well. Like, she says, like, oh, my old friend and her ways and whatnot. She's talking about the Raiden Shogun. Let's move on.
You don't think your ambition alone is enough to shake A's will, do you?
That's it. Just like that. Eternity stretches things out over a long time. But each moment within it becomes all the more fragile.
Alright, so we have him. And oh my god, that was a very pleasant surprise. That was probably the most pleasant surprise. Like, Signora was one thing, because we knew there was a Fatui Harbinger there as well. But Scaramouche actually showing up in Inazuma, just like a lot of people wanted, Oh my god, I was losing my mind during the reaction. I was like, they actually did it! Behoyo, you actually put the Balladeer of Inazuma in Inazuma. Oh my god. And yeah. Wow. Oh my goodness. I love his voice. I love his voice. I love his character. A lot of people love him. I cannot wait to learn more about him as well. Scaramouche, you know, it was a bit unfair to introduce Scaramouche in an event that no one else got to experience. Again, I feel like that was like a big disconnect, because even some people were reacting to this trailer I saw. They're like, who is this? Who, you know, those are new players. Only new players will not know who this is, because this character has not appeared anywhere else. So it's going to be very interesting how he's going to be incorporated into the main story now, when we get to meet, when he gets to see the Traveler again. Like, is he going to say, like, wait, you're from that time? Maybe we're going to get a flashback. It would be nice to get a flashback, you know? Like, a flashback would actually reincorporate things so that new players don't get left out. Because, you know, this character, when he showed up, everybody lost their minds. He was after our life. And Mona, the absolute legend that she is, she quickly got us out of there with her powers and whatnot. So, you know. Number 6 of the Fatui Harbingers, Scaramouche, where you do the fandango. Once again, guys, I want to remind you that the events in the trailer usually happen out of order, out of context. So this could either be happening at the very end of the Act 3. We're getting what? How many acts are we getting in? I forgot. I didn't pay attention during the live stream, apparently. They kind of told us which stories were coming out, but he's either going to show up at the very end of the act of Inazuma, or he's going to show up somewhere in the beginning of the story, as soon as we get to version 2.1. Because I really don't know what's happening here, where it feels like he got attacked by him, or he passes out. So maybe he passes out here, and it transitions over to where Yae Miko is actually saving us after our encounter with Scaramouche. I don't know. Again, everything's out of context, but again, they're still showing us a lot. It's just basically trying to piece things together and whatnot. But yeah, very interested to see Scaramouche again, how things will play out here, and what exactly his mystery will be. So I plan to do a different video. I want to tell you this right now. I plan to do a different video where I'm going to be analyzing all of the screenshots and dialogue we got from the actual presentation. This is just a trailer. I'm just doing a breakdown of the trailer right here, talking about that. I know I'm extending this to a long video. It's a long video already. I apologize once again, guys. If you're sticking through with this, I absolutely love you. Thank you so much for the support. But when I talk, I just can't stop talking. Anyway, let's move on to the finale of the trailer. Floating world under the moonlight. That right there, I feel like it should have ended the trailer. Now,
You know?
okay, let me wait for her to say it.
Pepper weather. Did you happen to see how the city looked on the way over here? Everyone's getting ready for the Moonchase Festival. I'm taking part in.
Alright, so I want to pause it right here for a second. Again, I said this during my reaction, and I said this during my, the full reaction to the presentation. I felt that this was kind of, I don't know how they're going to go with this. So, look, I'm a big fan of festivals, but it's just the way they presented it. It's like the Moonchase Festival was something I was actually looking forward to way back then. After the Lantern Rite, I'm like, yo, bring me the Moonchase Festival. We kind of heard that. I forget from who, but we have heard about this festival way back then. Just like Ludi Harpastum. We heard about Ludi Harpastum before, but we still haven't gotten that festival. So this feels out of place. Well, we're currently in a conflict in Inazuma, right in the heat of the battle, right in the story. I'm trying to figure out how this is going to fit canonically into the story, because if you've noticed, after chapter 1 kind of slowed down before we got some more progression in the story, it was all like festivals and a bunch of different events and whatnot. 1.2 was Dragonspine, so you could technically say that's canonically pushing the story a little forward, as there's a new region to explore, a new map, basically, new like mountain to explore, a new character to meet. 1.3 was just more of like a huge exposition of Liyue Harbor, the traditions, and all the culture in general. And then 1.4 was now Mondstadt's turn to experience the whole of the Mondstadt region, the culture and the people, and, you know, that in general. 1.5, I keep forgetting, but that was the Ajdaha story that came out. And then 1.6 was the archipelago. So this, I want to know how this fits. into the story, because we're currently in a story and now we're just gonna go back to a different region completely for a festival. I have a feeling that this is basically gonna be like, you know, filler basically. Like, I don't know, they're probably not gonna bring up any references to Inazuma. Like, they're probably gonna make us feel that this is happening before the events of Inazuma. Like, again, where I'm trying to place this into the story, like, for me, I want it to fit into the game, into like the actual story, you know, experiencing everything and whatnot. So it'll feel really weird to just like go to this festival. Like, maybe they'll take like a break from Inazuma and say that, hey, there's something happening in Liyue Harbor right now. Do you want to go check it out? While we wait for the final battle preparations to take place. Yes, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's how it'll happen. Maybe it's gonna leave us in a cliffhanger. 2.1 will leave us in a cliffhanger to the Inazuma story, where we're finally gonna make preparations for the final battle, maybe against the Fatui, maybe against the Raiden Shogun, maybe against another new enemy that shows up, a common enemy for us to take out and whatnot, maybe a god, maybe the serpent comes back to life, who knows? Something big could happen, and it's probably gonna end in a, what was I saying, a cliffhanger. So maybe with that cliffhanger, they transition over to the Moonchase Festival, and, you know, we get to experience something else, as in a few days, oh, we gotta go back to Inazuma, final battle is ready, and then version 2.2 wraps up the Inazuma storyline. Maybe that could happen, but again, it just felt like a whole disconnect for me. I kept saying, like, it broke my immersion and whatnot. That's not necessarily true, but it did basically disconnect me from the story, because I'm like, what are we doing in Liyue all of a sudden? And, you know, but I guess maybe this is their way of doing also the 1-year anniversary as well, just incorporating this event. But we'll have to see how things play out. Let me let the trailer continue to play. It's about to be done anyway. Alright, I played it from the beginning again just to watch it.
You know,
It's beautiful too.
starting to feel like chili pepper weather. Did you happen to see how the city
It looks
looked on
just
the way
as
over
beautiful
here?
as it was during the
Everyone's
Lantern,
getting ready
right?
for the Moonchase Festival. I'm taking part in this year's Masterful Chefs. If possible, I'd like you to be my culinary consultants.
And again, I wasn't trying to say anything bad
Chef
about
perhaps
this
you could
either.
Try making for me.
We
I hope we get to get a
have two
coaching story
extraordinary
quest as
talents
well.
this
They didn't really
year.
mention that.
I'm interested to see their choice of
Wow,
dishes.
that looks beautiful. It really does look beautiful,
Okay,
honestly.
Without further ado, let the cooking
It just
commence.
felt like a
Begin.
disconnect for me, you know? From like what's happening to that. So there's a lot of cool mini games that are coming out, a treasure hunt that's gonna happen, a bunch of things that you have to collect. Yeah. This part is actually new to me, as I didn't really see this during the, they didn't show this in the live stream. This is the trailer after the fact, but they broke down everything else here, right? So that we know about. We're going to talk about that stuff in the, well, nah, that's just an event. I'm not really going to talk about the event. I'm only going to talk about story-related things that's to come in the story, not the event. So that's what you can expect. As you know, I don't really cover events and whatnot, or guides. So, yeah, the fishing. Ooh, I will talk about the fishing in the next video. I'm not going to include that here. Then we got the weapons. I'm going to do weapon as well in the next video. This was just a trailer analysis. And there you go. Genshin Impact. So like I was saying, nothing bad about the trailer. It was a really good trailer. Again, it showed a little too much. And, you know, I unfortunately have to keep digging at this because I'm addicted to that. I love just breaking down a trailer, looking at everything, hearing everything that was said, and, you know, kind of spoiling myself that way. What I don't like is spoiling myself through leaks, which is why I don't look at leaks. Please, guys, respect that. My opinions on the leaks and whatnot. So please. Yeah, I like the looking at the trailer and spoiling myself that way. I just wish I wish they wouldn't show too much. Like, there's a way that you could actually make a trailer that you don't necessarily have to spoil the story of the trailer and whatnot. You could not even add the dialogue and whatnot. You know, you could make a cool trailer. You can do that. Let's just see how it's gonna happen with the whole Moonchase Festival transitioning from the story. The point that I was trying to make is that it feels like you're watching an anime, right? And you know when an anime is about to catch up to the manga, that they start going on like a different direction, or they just stop. Like they either take a break, go in a different direction, or they extend some of the parts and make it filler and whatnot. So, or yeah, basically just make a whole new story that is filler. Bleach and Naruto were criminal for this. Some of the filler was good, some of the filler was like, what is going on here? So you're going in one direction, and then the filler just takes you in a completely different direction and not referencing anything that's happening in the main story. That's what I was afraid of this happening to, but you know, it is what it is. We're gonna get amazing rewards during this festival. Again, nothing bad about the Moonchase Festival. I myself was waiting for this festival. It was just, why now like this? We'll have to wait and see how they're gonna transition from the story to this festival and back to the story. I can't wait for that. But yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for this long video of analysis of a 5-minute trailer. Yeah, only BlackwingKei, the lazy Genshin Impact content creator, can come up with almost an hour-long video for something that was like 5 minutes, only because I can't stop talking. Like, once I get my mouth running, ain't no stopping it. Ain't no stopping it. But yeah, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this little analysis discussion video just on the trailer. Look forward to now the next and possibly the last of this little series of analysis and discussion videos on the full presentation. But I'm going to be picking out only parts of story-related things, and as well as the weapons that are coming out. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And the islands. What islands to expect as well. So that's going to be a much bigger video as well. So I hope you look forward to that. It's probably going to come out during the week. I'm currently, by the time you're watching this, I'll probably be on vacation or not, getting ready for the vacation. So if you have an awesome one, thank you again. Like the video, subscribe, and also check the description. Discord is live. I hope to see you there. And I'll catch you in the next video. All right? Bye, guys.